Welcome back. This is Dreddeus with the first episode in the Chicago Bears franchise series here on my channel. I recently made a poll asking which team you would like to see me cover here. And I put up quite a few. I put up the Texans, I put up the Bears, the Patriots, and of course the Rams in sort of a Baker Mayfield redemption story. The Patriots and the Bears immediately took the lead, but it wasn't really decisive. So I put up a second poll with only the Bears and the Patriots, and the Bears won that one quite clearly. And you could also understand why. You can see on screen they were the worst team of the 2022 season with a horrible record, 3-14. You can see the standings below. We will be starting this franchise series at a different point than I usually start, of course. We will be starting directly after the 2022 season has concluded. The 3-14. What I basically did was I went ahead and recreated the scores that they had. They had a fantastic preseason with 3 convincing wins. And then they started into regular season with a win. That was pretty cool. And then, I don't know, things just went downhill. And just take a look at that. Loss against the Packers, win against the Texans, and then a horrible, horrible season unfolding here. To be honest, it was never really going to be their year from the point that Justin Fields got injured. Then they traded 2 of their best defensive players, Roquan Smith and Robert Quinn, to other teams. And that was basically the check mark under this horrible, horrible season. What we'll be doing in this franchise series is, of course, as usual, we're going to take the team, we're going to analyze it, and then we're going to try and rebuild it over the next few seasons. How long will this series be going? Well, I think it will be going until I hit I start off my post-draft franchise series. Haven't yet quite decided on the team, but I do have a few hot candidates right there. But this one here will start at a different point. We're basically past the Super Bowl. As you can see above, the 49ers beat the Chiefs, which actually isn't that unrealistic. Brock Purdy being the MVP. I mean, sometimes you just gotta love Madden, right? But yeah, not that unrealistic in terms of Brock Purdy being the most important breakout player this season, of course. Not quite sure if they would beat Pat Mahomes in the Super Bowl, but whatever. What we will be doing now is, before we head into the re-signing process and the free agency and so on, start rebuilding the team, I will be taking a look at the squad as it looks right now, because there are, of course, certain parts of the team that need fixing, need rebuilding. All right, we're going to start with the quarterbacks. We've got 4 on the team here. We've got Justin Fields, as you all know. Then we've got Trevor Siemian. We've got Nathan Peterman and Devlin Hodges. This is horrible. Justin Fields being the starting quarterback, of course, one of those dual threat quarterbacks, and he really did well in the 2 years and in the games where he played. That's why they had those terrific performances. He was such a mobile, such an aggressive player, really picking up a lot of yards. But then he got a few hits, then he got injured, and that was that, because they had to revert to those other quarterbacks again, and they just couldn't pick it up. And basically, if he can stay fit, he's really dangerous. As soon as he gets injured, the team just crumbles because the other quarterbacks can't really hold up the quality right there. It is always something with those dual threat quarterbacks. They get caught outside the pocket, then they get hit, and they're not used to handling those hits because, they're just not used to being outside. And that is the reason why I think that many of the dual threat quarterbacks have been injured this season, in the 2022 season, whilst the players that are traditionally inside the pocket have been a little less injury prone. There's no alternative. He is the starting quarterback. I will be using him. I'm very happy with having him because he's got fantastic stats. 76, of course, he needs to grow. But apart from that, a super solid starting quarterback. In the running back room, we have a lot of players. Don't forget that the practice squad is in here as well now. So we've got David Montgomery, we've got Khalil Herbert, we've got Treston Ebner, we've got Darrington Evans, Jaquan Hardy, and Matt Colburn II. David Montgomery, fantastic running back. I know him from a rebuild I did on Madden 22. He was really very, very strong, very solid. He's 26, 79 rated. He has got a few upgrade points, so I will be distributing those later on. But I'm going to go with the base stats now without any upgrades. And yeah, he just has very good attributes, super solid, so we will definitely be using him. The same goes for Khalil Herbert. He's 25, 77. He only has a normal dev trait, but I don't think that will be too bad. I definitely will be using him at the beginning here. Tristan Ebner and all the others, yeah. I mean, I'm going to see if we can pick up someone on free agency, but to be honest, I will be working with these two here. They're not that old. They still have some potential. I think they have good core attributes, and the other players down here, well, they're just backups, or I will be cutting them. The fullback is Curry Blasingame, who is actually one of the better fullbacks in Madden at the moment. Really like him. Used him in quite a few rebuilds, and he's a solid fullback. I don't really use the role that much apart from blocking, and that is what he can do. So basically, we're going to keep him around. The wide receiver room is really, really mixed bag, in my opinion. We've got Darnell Mooney, we've got Equanimious St.Brown, and we've got Chase Claypool. These three I really think are very, very usable wide receivers. Darnell Mooney, of course, with a start of 2581, the highest rated wide receiver, so wide receiver number 152 is his rating in Madden at the moment. He's a solid one. He's got good catch and traffic, good spectacular catch. He's quick, he's agile, so not too much to be at fault here. But of course, 81 overall, not crazy high. Equanimious St.Brown, he had a really good season for the Browns, you know, all things considered. But here in the game, 26 and 75. This is going to be a head scratcher. I do think that he's valuable due to his speed, acceleration, and agility. But there's just a lot of attributes that really are a little bit detracting here. Chase Claypool, 25 and 75. He joined from the Pittsburgh Steelers with a startup trait. I think he's really interesting because he's such a tall and bulky player out of Notre Dame. And yeah, we definitely will be keeping him around. I liked him on the Pittsburgh Steelers, so we're going to give him a shot here, of course. Byron Pringle on the older side, 29.74. This is going to be a bridge player at most. We've got Dante Pettis, 27.73. Then we've got N'Keal Harry. Then we've got Velus Jones Jr., Omar Bayless, Kawan Baker, and Warren Jackson, who doesn't even have a face. So quite a few of these I will be cutting. I don't really see the point in holding on to them. This will be quite a harsh rebuild because we're the worst team in the NFL at the moment, and we have to dig ourselves out of that hole quickly. The tight end is called Kmet. That's the starter. He's 24 with a 76 rating. Startup trait. Tall dude, strong tight end. He has to grow in a lot of attribute areas, but overall he's really such a solid starter at this position, and I will definitely be using him. I've got Trevon Wesco as the backup. He is a little bit of a head scratcher, I have to say. He's 27.71. As a second tight end, I think we will be using him because we just don't have that many alternatives, but he is certainly not the best to start out with. Ryan Griffin, yes, and Patrick Scales, both of which I will be cutting immediately. Patrick Scales with a 25 rating. I'm always amazed at players like this in Madden because I just don't get the point. Why even put him into the game if he's this horrible? I mean, is he really this horrible? I don't know. I've never heard of him, but it's just really sad. The offensive line, important because we do want to keep Justin Fields healthy and fit. And the offensive line plays a major part in that, giving us time to select our targets. So we've got Braxton Jones at the left tackle position, 24.73. Larry Borum behind him, 24 and 71. Let's check him out. He's 24.73, as we said just before. He's got good strength. We might be improving him, of course, but the injury rating is good. He's got a balanced penalty tendency, which is important because I hate those offensive penalties that we usually get. Now I've got Larry Borum over here. He is 24.71 rated. Also good strength, so that is important to start out with on the offensive line. Is he going to be the man for the future? I don't know. We're going to have to see who else we can acquire. Left guard, we've got Cody Whitehair, 78 rated, 31. Looks to have a pretty hefty contract. Jacquan Carter, 24 and 62. And then Dakota Dozier, who's injured, 32 and 60. So the left guard position, really a little bit of a head scratcher. We're going to have to do something here. Left tackle, I would be fine with starting like this, to be honest. At center, we've got Lucas Patrick. He's 30 and 71. Sam Mustipher behind him, 27 and 70. And Doug Kramer as the third center. I feel like that Lucas Patrick doesn't have that much to offer for us at the moment. So I also think that, investing in a little bit of a younger player who has similar overall might not be the worst choice. So I think Sam Mustipher will be taken over as our center number 1. Just gonna have to hope that he will be up to the task. He's super lowly rated though. I mean, 70 or 71 doesn't really make that much of a difference. And right guard, we've got Tevin Jenkins. I used him in a few rebuilds. He's a super solid offensive lineman. And yeah, we're just going to be going with him. He's 25 and 74. He's got a start-F trait. And that will basically be our starting right guard. Michael Schofield, don't really mind that one too much. 32 and 69, but definitely going to have to act here. And next up at right tackle, we've got Riley Rife, 34-68, and Alex Leatherwood, who's 24 and 66. And yeah, this is just a horrible setup. No wonder that there's a lot of pressure on the quarterback here. And I rather think either I'm going to switch in both or I'm going to cut players. We also have the contract negotiations coming up. The defense was pretty heavily reduced in during the season. So we have a left edge starter. He's Travis Gibson is 26 and 71 rated for Al-Quadin Muhammad, and then we've got William Bradley King. And to be honest, none of these would even make any team that I would be using in Madden. 70s is really very low for starters, and this is going to be an issue. At right edge, we've got Dominic Robinson, and this is even worse. He's below 70. Andrew Brown is here as well as a backup. These players are, I mean, they will be getting upgrades, so let's not be too harsh, but are they going to improve crazy high? I don't think so. So definitely going to have to act here. The edge rushers are very important because I like attacking the quarterbacks early, going for sacks, and this is not possible like that. The D-tackle situation, also interesting. We've got Justin Jones here, 72 rated, 27-year-old, and then there's 4 players that are below 70. So this is a position that we definitely need to improve almost immediately. And there's also a lot of cutting potential here because, players that are over 30 and below 70, they're basically unplayable in Madden, and there's just no use in holding on to them. Left outside linebacker Matthew Adams, also below 70. He's 27 and 67. And then we have Sterling Weatherford, also without a face, 24 and 61. Yeah, horrible, really horrible. Mid linebacker Jack Sanborn, probably the first one where I would say, well, we're going to be using him, and we can be using him. He is 23 and 70 rated, so this just makes him a feasible player to use in terms of development, but he has a normal depth trait, so that will be slow as well. And all the others, Alexander Johnson, Joe Thomas, and Dorian Etheridge, I mean, this is really bad. Really horrible situation. Right outside linebackers, Nicholas Morrow, 28 and 69, then Elijah Lee, and then Javin White. And then the cornerback room, this is the first part where I can smile again because we've got Jaylon Johnson. And he's a really great cornerback to have. He's 24, 78 rated. He's quick, he's dangerous. Look at speed, acceleration, agility. The press is good, the jumping is good. And all the other attributes like toughness and stamina are also helpful right here. So he will be a starting cornerback, and that is going to be very helpful for us. Behind him, we can mix and match a little bit. I think Kyle Gordon would make sense because he's got good acceleration and he's super young as well. Is he the most skilled player in the world? Heck no. Is he the most dangerous one? Heck no. But at least he's fast. At least he's fast. He can cover a lot of ground. And we will be bleeding points at the beginning of next season anyways, so might as well take our chances with this one here. Now we've got Michael Ojemudia here, who I'm not too crazy about, but then again, you know, he's 25, so this can work out. We've got Kittle Vildor, 25, 69, and then things get crazy. We've got Jaylon Jones down here, we've got Harrison Hand, Josh Blackwell, Michael Jacquet III, and DiCaprio Bootle. These might not be bad in real life, but in Madden, they are really unusable. And they're just taking up room, so we will be cutting quite hard here. Free safety, we have Eddie Jackson, 29.84. That is just a solid free safety. He might be hitting 30 soon, so we're going to have to look at the contract situation. But I'm happy to have one of those positions dealt with a solid player, and that is Eddie Jackson. We've got DeAndre Houston Carson, who's 30 and 71, and Elijah Hicks, who doesn't even have a face again. So not too great. And at strong safety, we've got Jacquan Brisker. This is also a little ray of light here. 24-year-old Penn State product. He is a very good strong safety. He's quick. He's got good acceleration, hip power. And you know, when I say very good, it's always relative to the age that he has. He's 24. And in my opinion, that is definitely something that we can work on here. The second strong safety is Dane Cruikshank, and then we've got AJ Thomas, and both of which are really not that crazy good. We can definitely get better players out of free agency if we want to, but for the moment, we're just really going to have to cut down hard on this team and get out all the weak players. The kicker is Cairo Santos, so he's got good kick power and kick accuracy, not that amazing. But I don't really mind that. If he has a contract still, then we're going to be going with him. We can bridge some distance here. The punter is Drew Chrisman or Trenton Gill, and both are really horrible. They've got good kick power, but the accuracy is really low in the 70s. But yeah, we're just going to see where we need to invest the budget. The draft picks, and this is where things get really nice, is we have the first overall pick. That is good. We've got the 33rd overall pick, then pick 65, 97, 129, and 193. I think we will be using all of these. And the first one will be especially important. I think we'll be going for Jalen Carter. We need a D tackle, and he's really set up to be one of the best ones out of this draft class. But you can see that we don't have that many picks. So definitely think that we will have to make the most of these, cover the positions where we really need the most help, and fix the rest out of free agency. All right, there's so many players. I think it's 29, so we'll be going through this by position, of course. First up, the quarterbacks, Devlin Hodges and Nathan Peterman. We will not be renegotiating. We will just be cutting those. Halfbacks, David Montgomery and Darnell Evans. David Montgomery, I do want to keep him around. I think that it would be good to have him. On the other hand, is his deal gonna really be painful for us? Maybe hard to guess. Let's see what he wants. Let's just figure this one out first. I feel like we can give him a long-term deal here. What is the neutral one? I think that we can go for. Gonna go for 7 years. Gonna give him 3.5 and 3 mil. That is not too much to ask for, and yeah, he signs the contract, so that is a problem dealt with. Darnell Evans, I'm not going to give him a new deal, no matter his improvements, but yeah, it's just too low. Fullback Karib Singami, we will be getting him back out of free agency. We can pick him up at any point. 72 rated, 27-year-old fullback. There's not really going to be the rush for him. Wide receivers, Dante Pettis. Not going to be re-signing him. Byron Pringle is a no. And N'Keal Harry, well, N'Keal Harry, maybe. I think I will be giving him a long-term deal. Let's give him 5 years. And I will just be giving him exactly this. All right, so he's going to test free agency. That works for me. Tight end room, we've got Trevor Wesco, Ryan Griffin. Yeah, that's going to be a pass for me. We're going to be rebuilding completely new. Left tackle, both have contracts. That is good. Left guard, Dakota Dozier, 60 and 32. Yes, that is a no. Sam Mustipher, I would like to keep him around because I think I think that he should be our starter. So let's give him a 3-year deal with 3 mil and 3 mil. All right, so Sam Mustipher stays on for another 3 years. That is probably the best we could get from that renegotiation. Michael Schofield is not going to get a new deal. Riley Rife is not going to get a new deal. Definitely not. Left edge, no players to re-sign. All right. Right edge, Andrew Brown. He's the right edge here, and he's 27. I can see that we do have Dominic Robson, who is 25 and 71. So no new deal for Andrew Brown. Next up, D tackles. We've got Mike Pennell, 3270. That is a hard pass. Armand Watts, 27 and 70. That is a no. And Angelo Blackson, 30 and 69. That is also a hard no. We have Justin Jones as a starter, so that works for me. And I think we will be getting someone with a first overall pick anyways. So let's just go for that. Left outside linebacker, Matthew Adams. I don't really think that this is a good one to go for. It's just not worth the budget. 27 and 71. That's a hard pass. Alexander Johnson. Nope. Joe Thomas is also a no. Both are above 31 and not that highly rated. What about the right outside linebackers? Nicholas Morrow, that's a no. Elijah Lee, 27-64, nope. Javin White, 26 and 62, yeah, that's a nope. Guys, I can't really re-sign any of these and be called sane. Harrison Hand, actually don't dislike the dude, but looking at the other players that we have on the cornerback room, I would rather put my budget elsewhere. We could give him... I mean, he's still young, right? He's 24. So let's give him a 3-year deal. But I will be only giving him exactly this. All right, so he's not interested in signing anyways. That is not even going to bother me. Free safety, DeAndre Houston Carson. Yes, this is a pass. I'm not going to be re-signing you. And finally, on the strong safety side, Dane Cruikshank is a no. AJ Thomas is definitely a no. Kickers, nothing. And what about the punters? Nothing as well. So a lot of players that we will be letting go. We will, of course, be getting quite a few back out of free agency on short-term deals. And that is basically the way that I want to go forward for the moment. We just need to really rebuild this team from the ground up. And there's just not enough here to even start thinking about that. All right, before we dive into the free agency, we will be taking a look at the team who is left, and we will be doing some cutting here. Trevor Siemian, for instance, he is definitely not going to be with us any longer, and we will be starting to package deals here for players that I just do not want to keep around. I don't think that we will be getting crazy good deals for them, to be honest, but that doesn't matter. I just want a few more draft picks, and that will basically just help to bulk up the team a little bit. Looking here, Matt Colburn, he's 25 and 62, not really an impact. I can put him into practice squad, but what good is he going to be there at 62? Jaquan Hardy, same thing. Both of these players I will be packaged along with the Trevor Siemian, and I will just be looking for draft picks here. I want to get, something like, let me see, just a 7th round pick. I think we will be getting nothing more for these players. If that, all right, so we can start shipping off players here. And that is basically what we will be doing over the course of the next few minutes. We've got Darnell Mooney, Equanimious St.Brown, Chase Claypool, Velus Jones. I think that he has something to add, but Omar Bayless, Kawan Baker, and Warren Jackson, these three are definitely not even going to be featuring on the bench. So let's just go here, package along all these wide receivers that we don't need. We've got Bayless, we've got Baker, we've got Jackson, and we will be shipping them off to the Broncos. I know that this is probably the least realistic part when you ship off really horrible players to teams, but I am getting 7th round picks, so it's not like I'm really using or abusing the trade system here. Cole Kmet stays, left tackle will stay, left guard. I really don't like Cody White here, but for the moment he's the best we have. Jacquan Carter, Doug Kramer, really not too crazy about this one. Lucas Patrick, I think we're going to keep him around, of course, but Doug Kramer, he is just too lowly rated at 25 and 61. I don't even see the use here, keeping him, stringing him along basically. Tevin Jenkins stays, of course. Alex Leatherwood stays, of course. The left edge situation, I could really cry a little bit here. I think that Al-Quadin Muhammad is the one that needs to go. And over here, Justin Jones stays, of course. Davian Nixon, I think we need some depth, so we're just going to have to keep him. On the other hand, a 64 rated player. He is never going to feature for us. That is just not even going to happen. So, Chargers, let's take a look at the draft picks. Let's get another 7th round pick in here. As I said, just trying to get players off the team, clear out some more cap space, getting a little bit more picks for the UDFAs, and yeah, just clear out some more space for our team here. Mid linebackers, I'm going to keep both of these for the moment. No right outside linebackers. What about the cornerback room? There's some really horrible ones in here as well. Jaylon Jones, Josh Blackwell, those down here. I mean, I really don't see myself using these. So let us just package those up. What about a nice cornerback package, if you want to put it that way. Gonna put Jaquette, who's 26, and then I'm gonna be putting Blackwell in here because he doesn't even have a face. And I really don't like that when players don't have a face. So off you go to the Washington Commanders, 7th round pick. And over we go. All right, that's a done deal. Free safety, Eddie Jackson. We're going to keep him. Elijah Hicks. And here, Jacquan Brisker. All right, another deal done. We are sending away Chrisman, Weatherford, and others. I just looked through the team again, and I just don't see myself using them. They're not costing that much, and the 7th round pick will bring us some probably equal quality into the team. So it is the first stage of the free agents negotiations ongoing right now. And there's quite a few interesting names in here. I have focused on the parts of the team that I really think need immediate help. So I will show you the ones that I targeted. I went for Juju Smith-Schuster. I think he can help us on the wide receiving core. Just having one truly elite player in there will certainly be of value for us. A cornerback, Mike Jackson Sr., no offers for him. So we are currently in the hunt. I am lowballing both of them, as you can see in the offer color. It's both orange. Taylor Rapp, same thing. I think he would be very good to join Jacquan Brisker, but yeah, I don't really need him on that part of the field. But then again, he can really help out at corner, at free safety. So very versatile player. Really like him a lot. Jermaine Eloy-Monor is the player that will be helping out on the offensive line. I am trying to bring him in at the right tackle position. And finally, Kaliki Hudson as a right outside linebacker. You can see none of these are absolute bangers. That is due that the class simply is a little bit on the weak side. Let's evaluate the offers immediately. All right, Juju has a ton of new offers. We are the lowest one, so we will be withdrawing that one. We're still in the race for Mike Jackson, still in the race for Taylor Rapp. Jermaine Eloy-Monor, yeah, same thing. He has gotten a lot of offers. We're not out for a bidding war, not for a 75 rated player. Kaliki Hudson is still active. Taylor Rapp also did get quite a few. We're absolutely out of the race there. I think that we can safely cut him as well. And there we go. Yeah, they're still on the fence about that. I'm not sure if this is going to be a very good free agents period for us. Free agents recap. As I said before, won't be diving too deep into this one here, but we did bring in a few players just to help us out, especially on the defensive side where we were really absolutely emptied out. Mike Jackson Sr., cornerback, he is just a solid player to join the cornerback room. Gave him a 4-year deal, really lowballed him on that one. He really thought a long time of joining, but yeah, now he's here. Good addition to that room. Devin McCourty will be joining on a 1-year deal. He is going to be our starting free safety. I just think that we need player that, could just take the brunt of the work here and without being too bad. We've got Robert Quinn, who I did bring back out of free agency on a one-year deal. Again, you can see the salaries really lowballing these players. And finally, Drew Tranquil, because we didn't have a single mid linebacker, and I think that he will be able to at least be the starting stone for us to build upon. So as you can see, not a lot of things happening here. We will now be taking a look at the draft next. Perhaps unsurprisingly, I did focus on defense and on the offensive line in this draft, 2023 draft. First overall pick, the Chicago Bears picked Jalen Carter. This is one of the top prospects for this draft, and he's also touted to go to the Chicago Bears because they are in dire need of D-tackle support. And he's going to be his day one starter with an 84 overall rookie out of Georgia, 21 years old, hidden depth trait. Beautiful, beautiful attributes, and a worthy overall #1 pick. Would have been a few quarterbacks available as well, but that's not what we need. Next up, we've got Felix Anudike-Uzomah, a rookie out of Kansas State, 21 years old, normal depth trait at right edge. Felt like we could use some help at that position. And to be honest, there was nobody in the second round that I really felt like I had to pick. So I did go for him. He has got good strength, speed, finesse, moves, tackle, and acceleration. Very nice. We will certainly be able to build on that. I do hope that he has some good progression despite the normal depth trait. Darnell Wright, a left tackle, normal depth trait, 69 rated. Super tall rookie, 6'6", good strength, run block power, lead block, and impact blocking. Balance penalty tendency, that'll help us. Good injury rating. So I do think that we can build on this, but 69 certainly very low. So we'll have to see how much of a role these players will really be playing. Nick Herbig, a little bit of a disappointment. I was hoping for something higher here. 55 is really, really bad. Left outside linebacker. We had no one at the position, so we had to bring in someone. He didn't look too bad, plus he's a scheme fit, so I did go for him, but probably not my best pick. Aaron Basley out of Tennessee, left outside linebacker, another one, 69 rated, normal depth trait. He has way better attributes. If you look at the details, we'll certainly have a chance to work with him some more. Then we did sign a tight end because we just needed one. Noah Gindorf, normal depth trait, 62 rated, out of North Dakota. And acceleration is good, speed, catch and traffic, spectacular catch. He will be moving in behind Cole Kmet and taking over that tight end #2 position. Steve Avila was another player that we picked because I just felt, a little bit of a bolstering for the offensive line could help. So strength, impact blocking, lead block, certainly not too bad. Also, the run block is positive in there, but he's ages away from being a starter. Then we signed Damon Miller, a little bit of a surprise in the 7th round, 58 rated with a hidden depth trait. But his rating's not too bad. Speed, acceleration, and pursuit are actually a little bit promising. Injuries, well, he will be able to develop behind the proven free safeties. Next up, we signed Jordan Morgan, a 22-year-old rookie out of Arizona, 63 rated, normal depth trait. The strength was what I liked. That was a standout right there. And we're deep into 7th round territory right now. So don't expect any surprises anymore. Logan Brown did have a hidden depth trait. That was a little bit of a surprise. Right tackle, good strength, 67 rated. Lead block, impact blocking, awareness. I mean, the first season is going to be rough anyways, so we might as well fully commit to that one. And Michael Jurgens, another offensive line player. I'm going to see where I can fit him in at a Wake Forest, the rookie at center. And he will not be playing center. I will be shifting, mixing and matching. Strength and pass block are passable. Pass block, finesse, lead block, and pass block power are attributes that we can start to build upon. Well, this was the 2023 draft. Just going to show you where the top drafts went. #1 was a Jalen Carter, of course, went to us. Miles Murphy, left edge, out of Clemson, went to the Arizona Cardinals. Bryce Young, now the Texans quarterback. Jackson Smith and Jake joining the Patriots. Will Anderson Jr., another interesting player that would have been interesting for us, joining the Buccaneers. CJ Stroud is now a Tennessee Titan. Will Levis, a New York Jet, replacing Zach Wilson for sure. Brian Bracey, the Chargers. Paris Johnson Jr. is now a Viking at right guard. And Peter Skoronski is now a left tackle, the prospect out of Northwestern. We did sign him with the Dolphins. It was very, very good there. But first off, I did want to go for players that I really felt like the team needed, not the ones that I just liked. But you can see that there's quite a few players in here that you probably remember from the Dolphins franchise series. All right, gonna be clicking through to the end of the first round. I just want to know where did Bijan Robinson go? All right, he went to the Vikings. Let's just hope he doesn't come back to bite me. All right, guys, this is it. We have arrived at week 1 of the first season that we're going to be playing with the Chicago Bears. We have done a lot of cutting and rebuilding here on this squad. And let me just shuffle for a second here to give this the best possible lineup. What we have done is we have brought in quite a few interesting rookies. We have tried to consolidate the offensive line that was in quite bad shape, and the defense was also quite horrible. But we did bring in some interesting players out of free agency. Mostly now I went for chasing very good mentors like Greg Van Groten or Taylor over here, or Compton. Here it's Winters, and here it's Fisher. And all of these players are supposed to help the newbies and the rookies and all the players on the team just to develop. I did that for almost each and every position. We will have to do some slight reshuffling here and there, of course, but for the most part, I really like the way this team is shaping up, the way this team is looking after a very, very hard rebuild. We really had to cut a lot of players. There was just really nothing to be done here. I also think that this will take at least 2 seasons until we see really good results with the players. But, you know, whatever. We're going to see what happens. We're going to start the season in the next episode. We're also going to do a deep dive on the team then, and who we have on which position, who we brought in, and all of that. Of course, the practice squad is filled to the brim with more or less good players. But apart from that, I think the squad is as good as we can get it for the moment. We had to cut a lot of fat, and now we will just deep dive into the season immediately in the next episode. Hope you enjoyed this first part of this hard rebuild here for the Chicago Bears. And yeah, as always, if you like it, drop me a like and subscribe. Let me know what you think. And as always, thanks for watching, guys, and see you next time.